Hey Dinos, how's it going today? So we are Friday, October 16th right now, and it is now 1:12 in the morning, and I'm just getting ready to film. But I got a story time for you, so like rawr. So this happened 2 days ago at this, oh my gosh, conception of time. Yesterday. This happened 24 hours ago. Rawr. So it happened probably roughly, what was yesterday? Yesterday would be Thursday. So it happened Thursday at like probably around the same time we are right now. It's one of those days already, okay? Rawr. If you've been in my live streams today, you know what kind of day it's been. So like rawr. Or I guess yesterday, because like I'm editing this tomorrow. Moving on, anyways. So I was talking to this guy on Tinder. Yesterday there was actually like a whole clusterfuck of stuff going on with guys. There's like 3 guys I was gonna kind of like hook up with throughout the day, and I didn't actually end up fucking any of them. So like rawr. Let's get into it, shall we? So I was gonna go over to a guy with a kid's house, but he had a family emergency that was going on throughout the day, so he had to go meet with his ex-wife and like talk stuff over and figure out what was going on and make kind of like an action plan. So that was a thing. I kind of maybe also, side note, threw an offer out for him to come over tonight. I guess I might have fast read the message, and yesterday I thought he said that he had his daughter potentially coming over today. So, because like she has her online school tomorrow, so she wouldn't have to go to her school. So like that was a thing. So I thought that he wasn't going to be able to hang out tonight. So I made plans with someone else tonight, and those plans were also not like solid plans, but they also potentially fell through. So that was also a thing. But like, anyways, side note done. He basically rescheduled, guy with a kid. And that's cool, that's like fine. He had like a family emergency, it's totally understandable. I like 100% get that, that's a thing, it's fair. So then I was talking to 2 other guys on Tinder, and I invited someone over for not like a full-on potential, because like this was also a guy I was talking to. The first guy that I invited over was a guy that I was talking to prior to. I'm looking at my phone right now, rawr. I was looking at my phone, smiling, thinking about the guys I invited over from Tinder, so like rawr. But yeah, the first guy I invited over from Tinder, I think I started talking to, what day are we? This was during the daytime, so we're Friday today, so yesterday was Thursday, or I mean like earlier today was Thursday. But yeah, my sleep schedule is fucked up, in case you haven't noticed yet, rawr. But yeah, so Wednesday during the daytime, because this was Wednesday during the daytime at this point. So what was I saying? Where was I? Guy with a kid, family emergency, canceling, Tinder guy. So this was Wednesday at this point in time. So the first guy that I invited over from Tinder would have started talking to him on Tuesday, and he was gonna come over for like 7:30. Well, actually originally, again, like I was saying, he wasn't gonna come over for 7:30, because when I was talking to him on Tuesday, I had told him that I had plans for Wednesday, Thursday, and potentially Friday, or if it wasn't Thursday, it was going to be Friday. So Thursday was a maybe. So like if I hung out with the dude I was hanging out on Thursday, I wasn't going to hang out with him on Friday, and if I hung out with the dude I was hanging out on Friday on Thursday on Friday, I wasn't going to hang out with him on Thursday. So like one of those 2 days I wasn't going to hang out with him, depending on which day he could make it, and that was going to be like a thing. So my original plan was, with the first guy I invited over from Tinder on Wednesday, was to have him just come over on Saturday. So that was the original plan. He was going to come over on Saturday, and that was a thing. And then since my plans fell through with guy with a kid, I was like, okay, well, let's talk to dude on Saturday. And I was like, hey, what are you up to tonight? Because the reason that the dude who's coming over on either Thursday or Friday, which he didn't come over tonight, he's now just coming over tomorrow, was potentially not coming over on Thursday, is because he works Monday to Friday from, I think he said 8 in the morning, but I feel like he might have said 9. I can't remember who started at 8 and who starts at 9 and who starts at 10. So that's a thing. He starts in the morning at some time, and he works until, well, oh no, because he gets up in the morning at 5:30. I do remember that. So he might actually start work earlier. So that's a thing. And then he works till like 6:30. Sometimes, like today, he got off at 5:30, but then he had a call at 6:30 and he had to go do something. So that was a thing. And then we just decided to just hang out tomorrow. So that's, or I guess later today. So that's a thing now too. But anyways, this is like totally rambly story and we're all over the place, but like hopefully you're following along. And if you are still here and following along so far, like, I appreciate the support and I hope you're having a great night so far. So like, rawr. But what the fuck was I saying? So yeah, that's why I didn't invite the guy that I was either having over on Thursday or Friday over on Wednesday, who we've also nicknamed in the live stream before. His nickname's Strongman, but we like Strongman. Anyways, where the fuck am I right now? So yeah, like I was saying, that's why I didn't invite Strongman over on Wednesday, because he probably wasn't also going to be able to make it over on Wednesday because he has to get up on Thursday morning at 5:30 in the morning. So I decided to invite the guy over from Tinder who I was talking to on Tuesday over Wednesday, and he said he could potentially come over. He wasn't 100% sure because like I made the plans last minute, maybe around like 4:35, 5:30, so he wasn't 100% sure. He said he'd get back to me around 7:30 and he'd let me know, because he still has to continuously study because he's like new to his job and everything like that, so he has to study and like continue upping his skill and all that stuff, which I get and I understand. So like that's a thing. And yeah, so he said he'd get back to me around 7:30 and let me know. So I started getting ready for about 7:30 so that I would be ready just in case he was like, yeah, I'm coming over. And then 7:30 came around and he was like, sorry, I'm really swamped with work still. I'm not gonna be able to make it over tonight. So he ended up flaking. Well, not fully flaking, but he like had a reason that he couldn't come through. And then the last guy that I was talking to yesterday night, technically, because I still haven't gone to sleep yet today, but for lack of a better words, Wednesday throughout the day. We're just gonna go by days right now, actually, because that's what we've been doing this whole video. So the other guy that I was talking to Wednesday, he told me that he works throughout the day and he gets off work at roughly around like 11:30, 12. So the plan originally was for him to pick me up at like 12:30 and we'd go for a drive and we'd park the car somewhere. He'd pick me up for coffee. Well, originally we didn't really get this far in this part, but like, well, actually, that's kind of the next point of the story, so like, rawr. But throughout the day, he was just gonna come pick me up and we were gonna go for a drive. Or I don't know fully what was going on, but I knew he was off work at 12. He'd be over around 12:30. I think around like 10ish. I was talking to him and we made the kind of like plan that he would pick me up and we'd go get coffee and we'd go for a country drive and just kind of like chill and chat. And then probably around like 10:30, the live stream had me like thinking, well, like, is this just a hookup or is this like a date? So I sent him a message and I was like, this is just like setting the background, just like this conversation, this is just like setting the background for the intentions of going into the like hanging out. So I asked him, is this like a date or are we just hooking up or like what's going on? And he was like, well, a little bit of both. And I was like, okay, cool, why not? And so that was a thing, and I got ready for him. And I was live getting ready, doing my hair and makeup, and then he picked me up probably, he got off early. I want to say he got off around like 10:30, 11, I'm not 100% sure, but he ended up picking me up, I think around 11:30. We went for a drive. We parked the car out down a highway in New Maryland, and like we took it to the back seat. We had he had already done this prior to coming to pick me up, but he had folded the back seats down, so like the trunk and like the back of the trunk too. Like he had folded the back seats down and like that piece that divides the trunk and the seats, or actually I think that's just the back of the seats. I'm pretty sure that's the back of the seats. But the way that his car is all set up, like it's kind of like big enough for you to lay down and cuddle and fool around and hook up in. So like that's a thing. So we took it to the trunk and the back seat and we started like hooking up and like chilling and like cuddling and talking. And like this whole time I was like, okay, so he asked me out on a date, so this is kind of like relationship prospects currently at this point in time. Let's chat things out, let's see how they feel. And like he was just kind of chilling there, so I was like, so are you looking for anything kind of like serious right now? And he's like, no, probably not. I'm currently living with my parents, so like I probably want to find my own place first and all that. And I was like, okay, that's fair, I get that, that's a very fair point. But like also at that point in time the wheels were kind of like turning, like, why did you ask me out on a date then? But like I was like, okay, well, like my next question, because like I am not anyone that I've talked to on Tinder or Snapchat would definitely agree I am a pretty direct person and like I am pretty straight to the point. So like my second question was like, and I was so my second question was like, okay, so are you publicly okay with banging a trans girl? And he was, I don't remember the exact, I don't remember the exact words he said, because like afterwards I was kind of like really kind of, I was hurt, I'm not gonna lie, I was hurt. Not, I was hurt, yeah, I was hurt. And I might have cried a bit, and then curled up with him and enjoyed cuddles, and then cried some more, and then made out, and then cried a bit while making out. But like, not because of him. I'm not crying over a guy. I'm not wasting my tears on a guy. But it was just like, so what? I'm not fucking worth it. But like, that's okay, fine. I'm gonna get some cuddles. And then I told him I'm not hooking up, but like, I'm gonna get some enjoyment out of it too, even if like that really hurt, because that's like a slap to the face. Because like, okay, I haven't even said what he said, but he was like basically like, no, because my father wouldn't be okay with that. And like, I'm still living with my parents, so that goes back to the whole point of him still living at home. So he was like, no, my father wouldn't be okay with that. And on top of that, his father's a Trump supporter, so that just probably wouldn't agree very well in the dynamic at all, just from that statement alone. But he said his father wouldn't stand for it, and like, he didn't. So to me, that was like, he didn't want to stand up to his father, and like, a relationship with me wasn't worth it. And it really kind of like hurt, because I was going into hanging out being like, this is relationship prospects. And he was kind of cute, he was kind of nice, he was really sweet. We were vibing pretty well. I was cuddling up with him on the drive. I had my arm on his, or I had my head on his shoulder. I was curled up with him like this. His arm was going down like that. So like, that was all like the thing. And like, I was just having a good time, and it was fun. So like, I was letting myself get into the relationship prospects. Yeah, maybe he could be like a guy that something develops with, and that's like a thing. But like, no, it's not. When he kept trying to make out, I was kind of like feeling like, I just want to say, take me home, take me home, take me home. Because like, at the first I was like hurt, but then after the initial wave passed and I was like, okay, emotions are gone, whatever, put them away in the box. I was like, I want some cuddles. I'm gonna at least get some cuddles out of this, because the cuddles have been really fucking mint, and like, you're a dope cuddler, so like, I'm gonna just curl up on your chest and I'm gonna cuddle you. But I was like, I don't want to hook up. And then I just curled up on his chest. But at the same time, I still wanted to hold his cock. So like, I unbuttoned his belt buckle, and I unbuttoned his pants, and I unzipped his pants, and I put my hand down in his pants, and I took his cock out of his underwear and his pants, and I just had one hand around his cock and one hand curled up with him, and like, just, actually I think it was more like this, because I was grabbed into his collar. So I had my hand resting on his chest, and like, one hand just grabbing his cock and one hand holding his collar, and we were just kind of chilling there, cuddling in the back seat, looking out the trunk window up at the stars, chatting a little bit, making small talk as like, I enjoyed some cuddles. And then the cops kind of showed up. So the reason the cops showed up, I'm presuming, is because someone was driving by and they saw the car parked, and like, obviously a car parked on the side of the country road, you can kind of get the idea of what's going on. And we realistically weren't that far out of town, so like, people were still probably driving home from work, because it was like just shortly after midnight. So that was a thing. So the cops came up to the car, and the lights were all flashing and all that jazz and everything. And like, I'm like, oh shit, oh shit. So I take my hand off his cock, he starts like buttoning up his pants and all that shit. He decided to hop out of the fucking car. Like, why the fuck would you hop out of the car? Seriously. He decided to hop out of the car. And he hops out of the, keep in mind, we're in the trunk back seat at the time. So he hops out of the driver's side door in the back seat, and the cop immediately starts shooting, get back in the car, get back in the car, get back in the car. And like, he opens up the front door for the driver's seat, and he's like, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Cause like, he panicked too. And like, when I talked to him about it later, I was like, what the fuck were you thinking? He was like, oh, I was gonna go talk to the officer. I was like, you're gonna get yourself shot, fuck. So that was a thing. And he hops back in the driver's side door in the front seat, and he's just sitting there, and the officer was like, hands up, hands up, hands up. And he's like, hands up. I'm like, hands up in the back seat. I still have a shirt on. I'm fully clothed. He's fully clothed. I'm just like, hands up. He's hands up. The officer's coming. The officer kind of like checks us and everything, and then takes the license, goes and checks the registration, goes back to the car. He's there for like maybe 2 minutes, scans license and registration and everything, and then goes out to give the dude the license and registration back again. And then he comes back to give the dude the license and registration again, and he's like, next time stay in the car, I think it's time for you to leave. And then we just kind of like drive forward a bit. I had a GPS map back because like, we were kind of like scatterbrained and scared at the time, so it was telling us to do a U-turn, and we just got like lights flagged down for hooking up in the back of a car. So like, we're not gonna do a U-turn in front of the cop that just flagged us down for that. So I'm like, you need to pull in a driveway and turn around right now. So he did that, and then he turned around and he drove me back to my place. And he had said like he was like kind of like scared and nervous from all that. So, and it was like kind of understanding. And like I'm kind of like, I'm not anymore. Now it's like, oh my fuck, what the fuck happened? But like, at the time I was like, I almost just saw someone get shot in front of me after holding their penis in my hand. Like, do you know how traumatic that would have been? Rawr. Fuck. Okay. Especially with like the red and the blue lights flashing in the background, like in the middle of the woods in some random guy's car that I met on Tinder. It was quite a time. So yeah, we got back to my place and I was like, so do you still want to come upstairs? Because like I wanted to curl up and cuddle some more. So like, rawr. So I was like, do you still want to come upstairs? And he's like, no, I mean like after that I think I'm just gonna go home. And I was like, that's understandable too. So like I went upstairs and then I went live, and then I was live till probably like 4 in the morning, and that was my night last night. Since we've talked about the guys that I've been inviting over, let's talk about the rest of the guys throughout week 2, because like, why the frig not? So I don't know what I've mentioned for what was going on for today, which was Thursday, because today is Friday at 1:31 right now. So, oh yeah, there was only one guy that was supposed to come over today, so that's a thing. And it's actually, no, there was 2 guys that was supposed to come over today. That's right, there was that miscommunication there with guy with a kid. So guy with a kid and strongman were both kind of like invited over today. So that was like a thing. So originally my plan with strongman is he has to get up at work in the morning at like 5:30 in the morning. So like, he was definitely coming over on Friday night, 100% for sure. And then he had the potential to come over Thursday night, maybe not. He wasn't 100% sure. So the original plan was if he was coming over Thursday, he wouldn't come over Friday. And then if he was coming over Friday, he wouldn't come over Thursday. And then throughout the day today, I talked to him and I was like, well, why not just do both? Like, if you can make it Friday, come over Friday. And then if you can make it Thursday, come over Thursday as well. And then if you can make it both days, we'll hang out both days. And then if you can make it only one day, we'll just hang out the one day. And then he was like, yeah, sure, sounds dope. Why not? So that was the original, so that was the plan earlier today, and he couldn't make it because like something came up around like 6:30 and he got a call and he had to go away. So that was like a thing. So he's just coming over tomorrow, and that's what happened with Strongman. Guy with a kid sent me a message probably around like, it was before I went live to make foods. Probably when I passed out with my food baby when Strongman sent me the message to reschedule. So that would have probably been around like 4:35, 5:30-ish maybe. And he sent me a message saying, what are you up to tonight? And I was like, well, I might have invited some company over. And he was like, I thought you wanted to hang out. And I was like, well, I thought you said that your daughter might be coming over tonight. So like, I invited someone else over. And he was like, it's okay, hun. Like, that's all right. But no, like, she has to work, so she's just gonna stay home and then come over tomorrow. So his daughter's going over to his house tomorrow. So his daughter's gonna be over for the weekend. So he's gonna have his daughter for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so I probably won't hang out with him again until Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday next week. But I'll probably bring him over throughout the week sometime after work, because he can stop by on his way after work and just like come hang out and chill for a bit. So that'll be probably maybe happening sometime next week. And then, yeah, that's all that happened with the guys today. And then tomorrow, Strongman's gonna come over after he's done work. And then Saturday, the studying guy is going to come over, potentially. I still haven't really talked to him since yesterday. So, like, I'll check in with him on Friday and see what he's up to. Maybe I'll check in with him on Saturday in the morning when I get up, because I have someone coming over Friday, so I'm not going to be that person that... Well, I mean, like, I'll check with him Friday before I bring company over, but I'm not going to talk to other guys. Well, I mean, like, I'm not going to make plans to hook up with other guys while I'm hanging out with a guy, but like, I will talk to like my daddies and like send them pictures if like I'm sending them a picture throughout the time, or like if we make a Snapchat video. That's like a different story. But like, I'm not gonna make plans to hook up with someone while I'm cuddling someone. That's not happening. Rawr. But yeah, that's been my week and my plan for the rest of the week. So hopefully if you've made it this far, you've enjoyed. If you have, be sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button down below, and why not comment something to make it a triple threat, because like, who the frig doesn't like a triple threat? And I'm gonna be ending it here, and I'll see you in the next video. Or I guess you'll actually see me. So let's start trying to correct that. Rawr. Hope you have a great night.